Do you remember that first stride? Maybe it was on the pond, or at a crowded public skate. Or perhaps it was alongside an older sibling. You might have been 5, or 10, or even 55. No matter when or where it was, that first stride led you here. For our entire hockey community, that first stride has opened new doors to opportunities, memories, and so much more.
How I get involved from hockey? I think I went to a Ranger game when I was like 4 with my mom. And then ever since that, I've played for the Avs organization and learned how to skate there.
I watched the Olympics and I watched Team USA win it against Russia in a shootout and I wanted to play.
I started skating when I was 6 or like 7, and then I started playing when I was 8 or like 9 maybe.
God, I started skating when I was about 6 years old. Figure skated first for a couple years, then this looked like a lot more fun. So probably been playing since I was about 10.
I've been playing since I was like 7 years old. My dad took me skating when I was younger and I just fell in love with it.
So when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I went to an ice skating party, and then from there on, ice skating was just like my passion.
So my older brothers, they started playing, so it influenced me to start playing hockey.
I started playing like skating when I was like 2 or 3, but then I started playing at like 4 or 5.
Oh, my dad played in the East Coast League, so he kind of got me skating when I was like kind of younger, so it just developed from there.
My uncle introduced it to me when I was 4, and I just started to love the game from then.
Playing hockey since I was 2. We moved to Canada when I was about a year old. Came home from school one day and that was that. Started skating, and then the next thing I know I was playing hockey.
To our hockey community that makes that first stride happen, thank you. Tonight, we celebrate all you do for our sport. Tonight, we celebrate the first stride. Now, please welcome to the stage the official PA announcer and voice of the New Jersey Devils, Adam Hamway.
Please don't stand up. Don't stand up. Don't stand up. Stay seated. Thank you for that. Thank you for having me as your MC this evening. It's truly an honor to be here. As the voiceover of the opening video mentioned, I am the public address announcer for the New Jersey Devils. And after I got hired last September by the Devils, I called my family to tell them. I just figured it was the right thing to do, to notify my wife and kids. Otherwise, it would have been pretty awkward. Why is Dad leaving at night? Where's he going? So I figured it would be really nice to tell them about what I was doing. One of the people that I told was also my Uncle Abby. And when I told him, he said to me, "So wait a minute, Adam. You're now the voice of the New Jersey Devils and also the program director for the Catholic channel on Sirius XM, which is run by the Archdiocese of New York. The Devils and Catholicism." And I said, "Yeah, that's correct, Uncle Abby. Your boss at the Catholic channel allowed you to do this?" And I said, Of course, Uncle Abby. God said yes." Life is funny. You know, you never know where life will take you and how long it will take to get where you want to be. It's important to take a chance, persevere, and never give up. I'm 40, and I finally am the public address announcer for a professional sports team. And when I first started announcing, I was 15 years old. I took my first stride into announcing for my high school basketball team. I was hooked, despite how tough it was. I was nervous, but I kept going. I persevered and never gave up on that dream. But it all begins with that first stride, like so many hockey players do, no matter their age. Now, before we begin the evening, I have to provide you with a disclaimer. Okay. Due to the writer's strike, please be aware the jokes may not land and acceptance speeches may go long. Please laugh and applaud anyway. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce the president of the Atlantic Amateur Hockey Association, Glenn Heffron.
Well, how was that? That was pretty awesome. Devils announcer, it's big time. I want to congratulate all of our award winners, and I am thrilled to have a lot of my friends here. Got Barzini, Captain McCluskey, Salazzo, it's all good. All my friends in one place. That's the only joke I'm going to land tonight. So 17 different sponsors make this event possible, and I'm so grateful. The Devils, the New Jersey Devils organization, and the Philadelphia Flyers, Black Bear Sports Group, and the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Lady Knights, all major partners tonight, and along with our leagues, the Atlantic Youth Hockey League, Delaware Valley Hockey League, the Mawa Hockey League, Gray Supply, NFP, an insurance company that we're working with, New Jersey Colonials, Junior Flyers, Woodbridge Wolfpack, our outstanding law firm, Genova Burns, Keith Krause here from Genova Burns, the New Jersey Avalanche, and the Ramapo Saints. So we celebrate a lot of different awards tonight, as well as the contributions of the late Ed Snyder and the founder of the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Snyder Foundation has made and continues to make a major impact in amateur hockey. And we are so proud and honored to work with the Snyder family in the creation of the Ed Snyder Award, which will recognize those individuals and companies that have made major contributions to the sport of hockey in the Delaware Valley. So grateful. If Craig and Edna would please stand up just to be recognized. Craig and Edna Snyder, so happy to have you here. And they will be part of the presentation of those awards later on. We had some great strides this past season. One particular was working on officiating retention that's kind of stemming from the abuse that happens, and we put a lot of effort into it, launched a digital reporting system, and I think we made a lot of people aware that, hey, it's okay to let us know when things aren't going right in your rink, and hopefully we can, address some of those issues. And we started off the season with this video. Alex? Let's try that again. Alex? You have that video? Or I didn't realize. How many production assistants, executive producers, and directors does it take to run an awards banquet? I'll give everyone 3 guesses. As Alex is looking for that video, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the winners of this year's Dr. John McMullen Award, presented by the New Jersey Devils annually. And Kevin Fox, I know you're in the room and back there. Want to recognize Gene Pilecko and Ron and Peggy Del Moro, who were this year's recipients. So please give them a big round of applause. Now we're going to try this one more time. I have this really cool video. He did this to me last year too, by the way. This really cool video that Alex is going to cue up right now. Alex. No video. Okay, so listen, I did get a message before that Table 2, that would be our player development department program over here, Table 2 has been cut off from the bar already. So, guys, it's great to have you all here and know why you're here to celebrate tonight's Hall of Fame inductees. I am honored to serve as the president for the Atlantic Amateur Hockey Association. Player, coach, official, was probably not good at any of those. But I have to tell you, a lot of people had complimented that how well things were going and how nice this event has always been. And I have to tell you, the thanks goes to a lot of different people in this room. We have an amazing executive committee that does a lot of work. Maureen Thompson-Siegel in the back. Stand up, please. Please stand up. Thank you. Jay Finnegan. I know Jay is in the room somewhere. It's Jay Finnegan over here. Gene Pilecko. I mean, we've got an amazing group. John Graves here. We've got an awesome team of people, and I want to thank Fuerza Strategies, who does all of our social media and puts on this event for us. So please give them a big round of applause. And they just don't know where they put the video. That gets deducted from the bill, for sure. So the last part, and I save the best for last every year, the love of my life, my best friend, my soulmate. She gives me permission to do this stuff all the time, and I love you to pieces. My wife, Mary, at this table. So if Alex really can't find that video, at this point, oh, hey, now we're going to have a video.
This season, refs for youth hockey have been quitting in droves.
900 refs in Massachusetts alone have quit just this season.
Why would any sane person want the job?
Life's a chance. Life's kind of like a game. It can be hard, maybe unfair, but we can't complain. When the chips are down or a call is missed, just think about when you were a kid, what it felt like to hear a yell or a scream. The way we respond is everything. We all love this game. We love the thrill. Healthy competition and fun times until we hear words of negativity. Let's lift up the work of the referee. Let the rights be right and the wrongs be wrong. And let's play on. Let the game play on and on. Let the game play on and on. Let the game play on and on.
I know that's it's a stark video to watch, and it's really harsh. And those moments are the exception. They're not the rule. And I have to say, this year, based upon everything we've seen, the incidence of that kind of abuse is way down, and that is to the credit of all the people in this room. So please give yourselves a hand, because it's working. Whatever you're doing is definitely working. Those things are reminders of how bad it can get. 99% of the games, and if we pointed out to the NHL, because they challenge us on these things, we remind them what you do in a season in the National Hockey League, we call that the first week of September. And so put it in context. There's a lot of games, there's a lot of activities. So I don't want to hold us up any longer. I want to thank you again for being here and supporting us. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Frank McGady.
I didn't expect to be called up, so is this working? Right away. Oh, there we go. I guess it's working. Glenn, this is for the scholarships, right? Okay, there we go. We're set to go. I was given the chance to be the chairperson of the Lou Manzione Scholarship Committee, and I received all the nominations from both the Pennsylvania and New Jersey high school. I'd like to call Hockey Director Jay Finnegan to come up with me, since the DVHL is involved in this too. So come on up, Jay. Now this, the Lou Manzione Scholarship has been going on for a long, long time. For those who don't know, Lou Manzione is a long-time member of this district. He was the president of the Brick Hockey Club, long-time coach. I don't know if you really want to know all his things. Alex DePalma could probably give you a good resume of everything that Lou has won, but he's won a lot. He was the president of New Jersey Youth for many, many years. Sadly, he passed away 2003, was it, Alex? 2003. Actually at the Ocean Ice Palace after conducting a practice. He had had a heart attack and passed away. So we established a scholarship fund in the Atlantic districts, thanks to Glenn and everyone else involved, to pick a hockey player from New Jersey and a hockey player from Pennsylvania, Delaware, to be awarded the Lou Manzione Scholarship in his honor. And we've always had some good young men win these scholarships year after year after year. This year it's a little bit different because not only do we have one, but two young ladies winning the scholarship this year. And as the one who picked them, if you saw their resumes, I'm going to tell you a little something about them. Unfortunately, one of them could not be here tonight. The Pennsylvania young lady, Sarah, I'm going to say this right, it's a Polish last name, Dobrinski, Sarah Dobrinski. Did I get it right? She's here? Oh, Sarah? There you know, because I went up there and someone told me you weren't coming. So, I'm glad you're here, Sarah. So come on up, Sarah. First of all, I guess there's actually stairs back there. Yeah. Okay. Let me tell you about Sarah. In her essay, Sarah wrote, "Hockey has been one of the driving factors in my life since I first laced up my skates at 5 years old. Hockey, with its tough, yet loving touch," I've never heard hockey given a loving touch, but I'm not going to debate it, "has taught me many lessons: how to develop a growth mindset, be mentally tough, and embrace community. Not only has hockey made a major contribution to my self-confidence and who I am, but it also provides me with the unforgettable experiences. I believe that without hockey, I would not have learned all of these core values that I fully embody." Sarah is a senior at Garnet Valley High School in Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. Is it correct, Glen Mills? I looked it up on the website. Sarah is a member of the National Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, the Spanish Club, is this the Tri-M Music? Or? Yes. The Tri-M Music Society, the Sports Broadcasting Club, a public relations officer and co-founder of the Society of Women Engineers and the Engineering Club. In addition, she plays the viola in the school's chamber orchestra. She tutors students in Spanish and volunteers to help run various school events. She also writes letters to senior citizens in a program called Letters for Rose. It's an organization whose mission is to reduce loneliness among the elderly by creating and distributing personalized letters, art, donations for local nursing homes. I looked up that too. Not to mention having a weighted GPA of 4.22 and getting a 1400 on her SATs. In hockey, Sarah's a goaltender for the Junior Flyers AAA team, and she's also a USA Hockey referee. Her coach, Chris Makos, wrote, "When a team has confidence," I love this line, "when a team has confidence in a goalie, it allows players to express more of themselves and take bigger risks because if they make a mistake, the goalie is there to bail them out." Sarah gives this kind of confidence to her teams. She also does it quietly and never in a self-serving manner. There was an expression constantly used by Sarah's teammates, all teenage boys now, that sums this up. Quote, "Well, we have Sarah." Mr. Todd Martin, her math teacher, wrote, "Sarah worked out of her comfort zone with grace. There is something very special about this young lady, and I feel blessed to have had the opportunity to have her in my classroom as a student. As teachers, we don't get to choose what students and the character that comes with them that walk into our classroom, and I was beyond lucky to have Sarah as mine." Sarah plans on attending Milwaukee School of Engineering in the fall. So let's give a hand to Sarah.
Just wanted to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for having me here at this awards. It's really an honor to be recognized by the AAHA since I've been playing hockey since I was about 6 and playing travel hockey all up until now. I've been around Junior Blue Hens, Delco Phantoms, Junior Flyers, and it's really just been an honor to play hockey around here. I wanted to thank my parents for always supporting me, taking me to the hockey rink all the time, as well as the rest of my family and my other sisters as well.
Congratulations. All right, now, our next recipient is from New Jersey, Rachel Reiter. Come on up, Rachel. Rachel, I know, is here. In fact, I was even given a photograph. There's Rachel. She was team captain, by the way. All right. Rachel was never one to give up. She would turn her frustration around and use it to push her to work even harder. This was a comment made about Rachel from her chemistry teacher. She's a senior at Milburn High School. Rachel is an honor student with a 3.382 GPA and is a peer leader. She has a composite ACT score of 28 with a 31 in English. And this, I know, had nothing to do with her winning, but she does have an A in U.S. History too. That's what I teach. She's a member of the varsity hockey team and was team captain, thus the C. She is also a member of the varsity field hockey and the varsity softball teams at Milburn High School. She was the team's MVP in her junior year, as well as she was voted honorable mention all-conference by the coaches. In her senior year, she was given the Coaches Award. And currently, she is a member of the New Jersey Colonials U19 team. Now, Rachel wrote in her essay, they all had to write an essay, "Travel hockey has taught me to be a leader. In travel hockey, you get new teammates every year. I was able to prove myself as a leader and as a player who earned the respect of my teammates. This skill has been helpful in other sports, school, and many social situations. Being that leader who is a good sport and a good teammate made me the person I am today." Miss Michelle Rosenthal, that was her chemistry teacher, wrote, "When faced with challenges, she frequently took charge of organizing tasks within her group and making sure that the job got done correctly. One example of this was during an acid-base titration lab." You'll have to explain that sometime later. I don't think they really want to know. Does anyone know? No, they'll take your word for it. Rachel helped her lab partners collaborating on obtaining the proper materials and developing the most efficient technique. Her leadership skills were most likely very valuable to her hockey, field hockey, and softball teams, as well as her work as a youth hockey referee. Rachel's coach, Megan Cassidy of the Colonials, wrote, "She is an enthusiastic player that has so much passion for hockey. Rachel is a devoted teammate that brings vigor to games and practices. I watched her work tirelessly to earn her spot in the lineup. It was rare that she missed a practice or training session. Rachel is always well-liked among her teammates. Much when I coached her as a U10 player, she was eager to fill whatever role the team needed. This is not a characteristic that goes unnoticed by her peers." In the fall, Rachel will be attending Clark University in, and I'm going to pronounce it correctly, Worcester, Massachusetts. Was that correct, Jay? Worcester. Maybe you say it down in South Boston. You're going to have to learn all these Boston accents up in Worcester. And Mr. Finnegan here could help you out being a Bostonian. All right, so step.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you to the AAHA for this award. This is amazing. I mean, I've been playing travel hockey since I was like 5 years old, kind of by accident. I was in a clinic. Girls' team was on the other side. They were like, "Girls, go on this side. Boys over here for the clinic." And I was like, "I'm a girl. Go on that side." Not where I was supposed to be. It was cool. Ended up on a travel team, and it was great. And yeah, I've been playing since at a million different clubs, and I mean, without my parents, that would not have been possible. I mean, most recently driving God knows how far to practice, 2-3 times a week, games on the weekends. it's been great, but travel hockey's taught me so much. I'm so thankful for all of the experiences as a result, and I'm really excited for the future, playing field hockey in college and all the lessons ice hockey has taught me for that. So thank you to my sister, because without her, I would not be here. She is a constant source of support, but also as competition, which has helped me get better. And thank you so much to my parents for driving me everywhere, supporting me, paying for everything, which is great. And yeah, without you, none of this would be possible. Thank you, and I love you. Thanks.
Alex, do you have my video? Strike two. Fortunately, the Screenwriters Guild was able to give me a script, so it is my honor and privilege to introduce our next presenter, Mr. John Graves.
Alex, do we have the high school video? I want to thank the coaches in this room for the cooperation for all the boys and girls that play high school hockey and club hockey. Club hockey certainly gets them to be the players that they are, and they can play each weekend in front of nothing but their parents. They put hours and hours of practice in and work hard. High school hockey helps them develop emotionally and builds their self-esteem by letting them play. They're the best players in their school. Why not play for their school sport? They play in front of all their students and teachers and principals. And I just want to thank all the coaches in the room for that. Appreciate the cooperation. This year, the Atlantic affiliate honors 2 high school players of the year, one male and one female. I'm going to introduce a female, and she's got her priorities straight. She's not here tonight. She's on spring break. Molly Rosenweg. She's recognized as a female high school player of the year. She plays for Unionville High School. She is a goaltender. She led for Downingtown West High School. She led her school to the Flyers Cup Championship, and she's going to be attending the University of Delaware and going to be playing hockey for the University of Delaware, and she's going to study pre-veterinary science at the University of Delaware. So how about a round of applause for Molly? For our male high school player of the year, let me introduce Eric Ty, who's chairman of the Flyers Cup. Eric? The Flyers Cup, which has been going on for over 40 years, takes all of the high school leagues, invites them to a year-end tournament. It's sponsored by the Philadelphia Flyers, and we use that tournament to determine who attends states to play against the winners of the Penguins Cup. So to present the award is the president of the Flyers Cup, Eric Ty.
Colin Mudrick is the male high school player of the year. Another goalie. He played for the Flyers Elite Prep as well as Holy Ghost Prep. He'll be attending Penn State University in the fall to study biology and pre-med. Whoa. Colin is here this evening, so join me in applauding him for his academic and athletic achievements.
I wasn't really aware that I had to speak tonight, so this is coming off the top of my head, but I just want to thank everyone here for having me here, obviously, and most importantly, my parents. You know, I had 2 older brothers go through this sport too, so a lot of time, money, and everything spent at the rink. I'd call it my second home, but just thank you two very much for everything you've done for me.
Please give a warm welcome for our Atlantic District Referee-in-Chief, who's going to present the next award, Mr. Jim Doyle.
Thank you, John. I have the distinction to be able to talk about the Daniel Triano Award. The Daniel Triano Award was created after the loss of one of our officials and player to recognize high school players that also officiate in their senior year of eligibility at high school. Tonight we recognize Sarah, who is here from Garnett. Please come back up. As previously mentioned, Sarah is a graduate of Garnett Valley High School this past Monday. She has a 4.2 GPA average, honors in advanced classes. She's involved with many extra activities, as was mentioned before, Spanish club president, and will be leaving this weekend to go to Spain for 1 month's opportunity to do some classes in Spain, correct? Okay. Sarah has played, as was mentioned before, and has officiated. Most recently, last weekend, she attended the Libertyville Games female event that was hosted at the Ice Vault in Wayne. This was the second year she had the opportunity to participate in that event. And after talking to Sarah and her parents, the opportunity to work with female officials in this area and have the coaching of female officials has helped her in terms of benefiting her in her experience and growth as an official. As Frank had said before, she's going to go to college this year at Milwaukee School of Engineering. And when she's at school, she's also going to be playing first year for their school to have a hockey team. In addition, she will also try to do some officiating in her spare time. So congratulations to Sarah, and once again.
I just wanted to thank the Atlantic District again for this award. It truly is an honor to be recognized, especially twice for scholarship. Officiating, I started as a freshman in high school, so like 14 years old doing the little mite games, and I never really would have thought that I still would have been doing it as a senior now, reffing all these higher level older games. I'm going to be reffing as much as I can in college, and I'm really looking forward to all the opportunities that officiating will bring me. And I'd just like to thank my assigners, Brian McCullough, for always being supporting me and providing me with this outlet. And I want to thank my parents again for always supporting me.
Let's give another big round of applause for all the scholarship recipients. We're now moving on to our award ceremony. We're going to start with a category created from an influential organization within the world of youth hockey, the Ed Snyder Award. Let's take a look at their journey.
When I first started the foundation, I got a letter from a young girl who said, before this foundation, I had no hope in life. And I decided to follow her through the rest of the years as she was in the program. She graduated high school. She got a scholarship to Westchester College. She's on the dean's list. She's on the hockey team, and she's a wonderful citizen of our city, and we've got a lot of stories like that. And I got to tell you, it makes me real proud.
Ed Snyder was a visionary who brought hockey to the Philadelphia and greater Delaware Valley marketplace at a scale never before seen. As part of his mission, he expanded access to the game for children and families in the Atlantic affiliate. In honor of his commitment to amateur ice hockey, the Snyder family and Atlantic Amateur Hockey Association are proud to award the Snyder Award, recognizing the steadfast commitment of hockey leaders. This evening, we honor their 2023 Snyder Award recipients, Mike Richter and Annie Abramson. Congratulations.
Please welcome to the stage Jim Doyle, an executive director of the Snyder Foundation, Craig Snyder, who will induct the first recipient of the 2023 Ed Snyder Award.
Do I have to give my GPA? Glenn, where are you? Because I don't think I deserve to be on the same stage. This outstanding young people. Congratulations to all of you. I did want to share a story. I was out to dinner this week with my wife Ed, and we went out with Andy Hartzell. Doc Hartzell was one of the Flyers' longtime physicians, and Andy was telling a story that after a game, he went up to my dad and he said, "You know, Mr. Snyder, I got to tell you something, but it's gonna cost you a lot of money. I'll just tell you right now." And my dad looked at him quizzically and said, "Well, okay, well, what is it?" He goes, "You know, the name of the building has changed so many times, and I think that instead of the Wachovia Center or the Wells Fargo, it just should be called the Snyder Center." My dad laughed. He said, "That's nice of you, Andy." But he said, "You see that girl across the room over there? You know, she went through, and it was exactly, my dad was just talking about it, went through all those things, and he says, I look at her, and he said, that is my legacy. I don't need my name on the building, just knowing that these young people, you know, got to learn life skills through hockey, and so I think that he would be very proud that this award was being named after him, and that to this day, his legacy lives on, and I want to thank the organization for all you've done for all these years to promote hockey in the area and your longstanding commitment to the youth of this area. Thanks so much.
Unfortunately, this evening, Mike Richter could not be with us. He's celebrating a wedding this weekend, so I'll tell you a little bit about Mike, and then there's a little bit of a video presentation when I'm done. Mike Richter is a legendary figure in the world of hockey. He has left an indelible mark both on and off the ice. His remarkable achievements span not only his illustrious professional career, but also his admirable contribution to society and his dedicated family. Before his professional hockey career, Richter showcased his exceptional talents at every level, from his collegiate days as a standout goaltender at the University of Wisconsin, where he garnered numerous accolades, to representing his country on the international stage. Richter consistently displayed his skill, determination, and passion for the game. During his tenure in the NHL, Richter achieved greatness with the New York Rangers, etching his name in hockey history. His remarkable performance, highlighted by his instrumental role in leading the Rangers to their long-awaited Stanley Cup in 1994, elevated him to iconic status in the hearts of fans. Richter's athleticism, agility, sheer brilliance between the pipes solidified his place among all-time greats. Here are some of the accomplishments as a player. Stanley Cup champion, played a pivotal role in leading the New York Rangers to win the Stanley Cup in 1994, ending a 54-year championship drought for that franchise. Olympic silver medalist, represented the United States in multiple Winter Olympic Games, earning a silver medal at the 2002 Salt Lake City Olympics. NHL All-Star, selected to the NHL All-Star game on 3 occasions, 1992, 1994, and 2000. Vezina Trophy winner, awarded the Vezina Trophy in 1994 as the league's top goaltender, solidifying his status as one of the premier netminders in the NHL. Member of the United States Hockey Hall of Fame, inducted into the United States Hockey Hall of Fame in 2008, recognizing his significant contributions to American hockey. College hockey success, achieved notable success at the collegiate level, including being named to the NCAA All-Tournament team and winning the NCAA championship with the University of Wisconsin in 1989. Multiple USA Hockey Year Awards, recognized as USA Hockey Male Player of the Year in 1991, 1994, and 1999 for his outstanding contributions to American hockey. Career longevity, spent his entire professional career with the New York Rangers, playing from 1989 to 2003. Career statistics, accumulated impressive career statistics, including high number of wins, shutouts, and a strong save percentage throughout his NHL career. Alex?
First, I want to say thank you for including me in the award celebration, and my deep apologies for not being able to make it here tonight in person. I owe so much of my success and my love of the sport to the many folks associated with the Atlantic Hockey District. Some of them have passed on, some of them are still with us, and all of them obviously are enormously dedicated, and especially I just want to register President Glenn Heffernan and of course Craig Snyder. I want to mention a few that have been particularly important to my life. First, co-winner Andrew Abramson. I'll keep this brief, as you're going to hear from him in a moment, but he is a man who's worked tirelessly behind the scenes for years, just doing the right thing and making sure that, you know, the rare thing, doing what's right for the kids. And I owe him so much. I owe him so much just for putting his faith in me and giving me a chance to participate in the regional camps, the national camps, and move through the U.S. hockey system that otherwise, you know, could have easily overlooked back in those days a long time ago. He was a huge advocate for me and just did the hard work of supporting, and it really made all the difference in the world. So, Andy, I want to thank you, and I just want you to know that I'm forever grateful. Another person that I'd love to acknowledge, just a past award recipient as well, Bruce Craig. He was my coach through Bantams and high school. I played locally for Germantown Academy and then through the Little Flyer system. And Bruce had played at the University of Pennsylvania. The guy could skate like the wind, and of course he was Canadian, so we had a lot of street cred around the parts of Philadelphia that I played. He was an incredible friend and mentor, but he taught the players, you know, many of the really important aspects of the sport. But I think the two most important thing is to always challenge yourself, but also fun. Just this sport is an amazing sport, and Bruce had an endless supply of fun with his crazy laugh and his kind of deep appreciation for how much it means to a kid to be able to participate in it. And you know, getting the most out of yourself and having fun, these things do go hand in hand, and I challenge anybody to, you know, challenge Bruce on that. I watched it firsthand with Wayne Gretzky when he came to the Rangers as a 36-year-old, and that guy could carve out a sense of enjoyment and all the challenges that the sport throws at you. If you don't love it, you will never push yourself as hard as you need to in order to be your best. So that's something I took with me, and honest to God, when I saw Wayne and how he reacted in practice and how much he loved the sport, I thought of Bruce Craig, two great Canadians who love this sport so much. Finally, I want to speak about the late Ed Snyder himself. He didn't just build that iconic Flyers organization. I mean, this is a guy who you know, made this expansion team back in '68 into a championship squad in a remarkably short time, but he also built the infrastructure for the kids that lived in the Philadelphia and the tri-state area, really to be able to play at an enormously high level, not just enjoy the sport and participate on a local level, but actually put the foundation in for us to actually compete with the Canadians and the rest of the world. I was fortunate enough to meet Mr. Snyder, and became immediately apparent to me why the Flyers organization had so much success and the alums are so loyal. He was an incredibly special person, and you can't have enough of those type of people in your lives, and we can't have enough in our game. So to close, I just want to thank each and every one of you guys that work for the Atlantic District, that volunteer your time, and that support it in any way. You know, like Andy, you give kids like me an opportunity. Like Bruce, you make this game fun, and like Ed, you serve as an incredible example, a mentor, and you build the infrastructure that make these dreams possible. From the bottom of my heart, I do want to thank you, and enjoy the evening.
Our second inductee tonight, Andy Abramson, is here. So, Andy, would you make your way to the stage, please? Andy is someone I've known since the mid-1970s. While he's not been visibly involved in the area since the late 80s, he's someone has been a gentle force in the development of so much of our district that all of youth hockey has to be thankful, including me. He was employee number 1A, hired to start the Flyers Hockey Central in 1976. He had just turned 16 years old. In 1976, he convinced Don McKee, last year's winner, to name Chris Gump Whiteside to be the first ever Delaware Valley High School hockey player to be named Athlete of the Week by the Philadelphia Inquirer. In the winter of 1977, he orchestrated the single largest hockey coaching clinic, kicking off the Coaching Achievement Program with the help of Flyers coaches Fred Shiro, Mike Nikolak, and Barry Ashby, plus others. In 1978, he convinced Flyers producer Pete Silverman to have a between-period feature that became the Pepsi Shootout. The same year, he worked with the Met League and the Atlantic Junior Hockey League to host the first of a series of College Central showcases at the University of Pennsylvania Class of 23 rink, attracting coaches from Division I, II, III. In 1978, he was named commissioner of the Mid-Atlantic Women's Hockey League, and a few months later, as commissioner of the DVHL at the age of 18. In 1979, he organized the first USA Hockey Officials Development Clinic, co-sponsored by the Flyers. In 1979, he led the charge to create the first ever Flyers Cup High School Hockey Championship in 1980. He is recognized by many to be the father of the Flyers Cup. In 1979, he developed and managed youth hockey at the Spectrum before the Flyers games. That same year, he worked to have the Philadelphia Inquirer launch the first ever all-area high school hockey team. In 1980, he had the crazy idea to have mites on ice between periods of the Flyers game to the delight of the crowd. In June of 1980, he was named USA Hockey Registrar at the ripe old age of 20, the youngest ever to hold that position to this date. In 1981, along with Frank Black from Mid-America District, he created the Pennsylvania Cup. In 1981, he pushed to include Mike Richter in the USA Hockey Midget Regional Development Camp while Mike was still a bantam. In 1982, he and Frank Black lobbied successfully to include the Keystone Games back under the umbrella of USA Hockey. In 1983, he converted Flyer player appearances at ice rinks to actual learn-to-play clinics. In 1984, he created the Learn to Play Hockey program when Jay Snyder secured sponsorship from Medford Meats, and in 1985 expanded it to 4 programs in the city of Philadelphia ice rinks that he had secured along with sponsorship from all the leading hockey equipment brands participating. In 1984, he helped produce the retirement night for Bobby Clark. In 1984, he hired another of last year's winners, Bruce Craig, to be the chief instructor and head coach for all Flyers youth hockey programs. In 1987 and 88, he organized and produced the Flyers Alumni Celebrity All-Star Hockey Team event, selling out the Spectrum and raising over $300,000 for youth hockey programs. In 1988, he was named the youngest ever director emeritus of the Atlantic Amateur Hockey Association, and in 2018, he was named to the Atlantic Amateur Hockey Association Hall of Fame. These are just a few of the accomplished and true triumphs our next recipient did for the AAHA community from 1976 to 1998, and he did it all before his 29th birthday. Oh, and one more thing. Last year, he helped secure the Snyder family's participation in this award. It is my pleasure to introduce my friend, Andy Abramson.
Thank you, Jim. I've known Jimmy Doyle since he started a referee, and I'm delighted to be up here with Ed's son, Craig. To say I'm humbled and honored to join Mike today is an understatement. Being here, though, feels to me the same way it must have felt for those players in the orange, black, and white back in 1974 when they rode up Broad Street and held their first ever Stanley Cup. So if you don't mind, allow me to take you on a journey that began 47 years ago, just a few days after my 16th birthday. It's a journey that's intertwined with the lives of many. And like a compelling journey narrative echoing Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, where individuals came together to achieve greatness for a cause greater than themselves, we did it for the youth hockey community. Picture a summer day in August when a gentleman by the name of Cy Roseman called me and said Aaron Siegel told him that Ed Snyder wanted to promote youth hockey, and you were the guys to do it. So just as John Galt envisioned in Atlas Shrugged, a vision that inspired a revolution for the greater good, Ed Snyder too had a vision to create a lasting impact on the youth hockey community. He believed that if kids played hockey, they would grow up to be fans, and their parents would become fans too, and ultimately building a great fan base for the Philadelphia Flyers. He was right. So in 1976, the seeds of Hockey Central were planted, later blossoming under Craig's brother, Jay Snyder, when he created the Flyers Office of Amateur Hockey Affairs in 1983. But on that summer night when we all first met at the Wissahickon Skating Club, the beginning of the first ever fan development organization in professional sports, a fact that was greatly overlooked by many even to this day, was started. So Cy, who I called the wily old veteran, and my nickname, the Kid, because that's what everybody called me, because I think I was a kid. We went out and we started something and took on a challenge that was put before us. Cy was my first mentor. He was a master wordsmith. He coined the mission statement for Hockey Central. I can remember it as clear as day. It would be all about this. It was going to be clear, it was going to be credible, and it was going to be compelling. And it was simply these words: to promote, stimulate, and develop interest in the sport of youth hockey in the Delaware Valley. So it was also while I was working for the Flyers that Mr. Snyder started talking about Ayn Rand and her objectivist thought. I began reading her books: The Fountainhead, We the Living, Anthem, The Virtue of Selfishness, and most importantly, Atlas Shrugged. In Atlas Shrugged, the character John Galt states on a radio broadcast, "I swear by my life and my love of it that I will never live for the sake of another man nor ask another man to live for mine." Well, that sentiment of emphasizing individualism can be applied to what we did at Hockey Central, as we all stood as an organization daring to do something different. It was built not only on Ed Snyder's vision, but on the collective will of a few of us to really make a difference. I'm referring to Aaron Siegel, Ken Gesner, whose daughter is here, Mary, Cy Roseman, me, and others. And we all had that will to do something different. They were like fathers to me. I was fortunate to have them as mentors, as friends, as guiding lights, Cy, Aaron, Ken, who like extra fathers mentored, guided, and truly believed in what I could do so I could help them do what they wanted to do. They nurtured me, and from about the time of 16 until I was 28, really helped me create this community and create something magical for the youth hockey community in the Delaware Valley. So together we went out and built that magical place for the youth hockey community, Hockey Central. Something reminiscent of Galt, Skolch, and Ayn Rand's masterpiece, by not only generating media attention, but by creating lasting programs, some of which you still have on the ice, and in the words of Jay Snyder, was the essence, the progenitor of Snyder hockey today. Our work and successes were really only possible with support of countless others, from the Flyers, but also from the Spectrum, Spectacor, Prism, Channels 29 and 57. People you never knew of, but who, for whatever reason, let this 16-year-old kid do things that, now looking back, built your youth hockey community that so many of you now get to enjoy. There were many others in the youth hockey community, too, who made a difference, and the media, some of whom made significant contributions, like you heard Mike talk about Bruce Craig and Don McKee and Scott Chamness. To name them all would take longer than the time we have, but for all of you who've helped, worked, and gave we thank you, for it is you in this collective efforts that led to the many groundbreaking initiatives that you just heard Jim list. In addition to all these extraordinary individuals, numerous others played crucial roles in shaping the youth hockey landscape. So tonight, I'm reminded of the importance of acknowledging and thanking all of you who have made a significance in so many players, coaches, parents, and game officials' lives. It's not just about Mike or me or Jim or Glenn. It's about thanking all of you for the commitment and dedication that makes it possible all the time for youth hockey to survive and flourish. But if it all sounded easy, or it looks easy today, it wasn't. So just as John Galt challenged the conventional norms of a society and Atlas Shrugged, we faced a lot of challenges, but we persisted. And those efforts yielded the Flyers Cup, the Bobby Clark Award, the Pennsylvania Cup, the Pepsi Shootout. We created that Mites on Ice program. We organized those coaching clinics. And we sold out the Spectrum in 1988 when Bobby Clark and Gordie Howe and the celebrities played a game raising $300,000. I would later go on to be the general manager of that same celebrity all-star hockey team, raising $6 million across North America for charities. It's been 35 years since I retired from that part of my life, and I am deeply honored to receive this prestigious award, named after one of the greatest business leaders, humanitarians, and visionaries the world has ever known in Mr. Snyder. As I stand here today, I'm reminded of John Galt's words, "Do not let your fire go out, sparked by irreplaceable spark in the hopeless swamps of the not quite, the not yet, and the not at all. Do not let the hero in your soul perish in lonely frustration for the life you deserved and have never been able to reach." With this award in Ed Snyder's name, we are not letting the real hero in our souls perish. And each and every winner of this award, past, present, and future, will have reached the life we deserved through our tireless efforts to promote, stimulate, and develop that interest in youth hockey. Thank you all for allowing me to be part of this incredible journey.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Glenn Heffernan, who will announce the President's Award.
Thank you all. President's Award this year is being awarded posthumously to Marianne Reese. If you've spent, yes, please. Not going to be easy to get through this. If you spent a minute in the ice vault in Wayne, you came across Marianne for sure. Maybe even got yelled at Marianne. I know I did a couple of times. Marianne grew up in a very Italian household, I'm told, in the Bronx. Youngest of 3 girls, but one of the toughest ones. She went to Fashion Institute, and Marianne, I think, met Bobby when they met at Alexander's department store, as I understand it, in 1975. When Bobby left, he took Marianne with him to Franklin stores because of her impressive work ethic, ability to captivate a room. And when Bobby left Franklin stores, they started dating in 1980 and got married in 84. And they had their son Brian in December of 84, and Kimmy, born 2 years later, and Chelsea 2 years after that. And I'm so honored to have the whole family here, or most of the family here. I know a couple are busy doing other things. A newborn for one, that's awesome. Bobby got the idea for the ice rink in 2003, and Marianne was the party lady who coordinated all the parties in the rinks. and then eventually became the manager. And that's probably how she became very well known within the hockey community. Beloved. There was never a time when you'd walk in, if she recognized you, that she would come over, say hello, ask how you're doing. Bobby is kind of the brain trust, but Mary Ann gets it done. If there's something to be done, Mary Ann was there. In fact, to quote Brian, my dad would come up with a crazy idea, and my mom would figure out how to execute it. It's just brilliant. She was firm but fair. She struck the fear in a lot of people, but those were the same people that would go to her for advice. She battled cancer for 8 years. I certainly can relate to that. I lost my mom to cancer in the same period of time. And for someone who was battling that and going through chemo and going to work every week and still being there and still putting on a great face, it is just an amazing, she was an amazing woman, and we are delighted to honor her tonight with the President's Award. And if Bobby Reese would please come up and accept the award.
Very short. Before I start, I want to thank the Atlantic District and Glenn and all the members. I also want to wish Glenn congratulations, as everybody in this room knows already, but it hasn't been stated. Well, he'll be the new commissioner of the USHL, the #1 junior hockey league in America. And I know you're going to do a great job for them. So, I heard something recently that best described Mary Ann. It's actually a story about a boat. When a boat moves, it plows through the water. Like most of the people in this room, our lives consist of plowing through life, plowing through the world of hockey, running rinks, running teams. But in many ways, what's important is not the boat moving through the water, but it's the wake that you leave behind. Mary Ann was a very tough lady, believe me, I know. I always told the story. I came off a plane at 6 o'clock in the morning from Brazil. Prior to getting on the plane, she said, I'm going to pick you up at JFK. I said, well, when you do it, make sure you park in the Pan Am Terminal's parking lot, which is right in the terminal. I'll come right out, move upstairs. Mary Ann wasn't very good with following directions when it came to driving. So when I came out of the terminal, she starts walking away from going up the elevator. And I said, where are you going? She says, oh, I parked in the parking lot across the street. I said, why'd you do that? She promptly dropped whatever few little bags I gave her and left me there. At 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday, and now I'm sitting here with 4 bags and a very pissed off girlfriend, because we weren't married yet. I found a taxi. I went to the Bronx. I found the florist, banged on the door because they weren't open at 7:30 in the morning, but they do get there early. Told them what I needed, went to the house, knocked on the door. Her father just pointed like that when he opened it, and I handed the flowers, and I learned my lesson. We had 40-something years together that were great. But she was always in the belief of what was left in the wake from the boat. It was always about what you're leaving behind, not just what you're pushing aside. In the world of hockey, she really didn't care about the juniors and the midgets and all of that. The parents that were crazy, everybody running around for a letter. She left that for Jim Hunt and Toby and all the other guys to deal with that. She loved the mites. I mean, the mites are the mite event every year was the biggest highlight for her. And then when Brooke came back and developed the girls program, I think she took more pride in that than anything that we ever had. But the one thing she really prided herself on were the kids that came and worked for us. Many of them, whether they were in the restaurant, the front office, young coaches, because to her that was the future. The problem we have in the world of hockey today is we're so concerned about letters and numbers and, oh, my hockey rankings, God forbid me leave that out. But what's important, and what we're finding now, and unfortunately she is not going to be around anymore to see it, is those people that are coming back to us, that we were their first job. They went to high school, they graduated, went to college, and they're coming back now with their children. You know, that was her legacy. And I say this to all the guys out here, coaches, women coaches. It's what we leave behind that's clearly important. If there's anything about the legacy of Mary Ann, and I've heard the word legacy said many times here tonight, but it's what we take with these kids and how we develop them into becoming the future leaders and the future parents and all the stuff that goes wrong in this country today, and how do we make it right? We are not going to make it right in this room. They are going to make it right. We are only there to help them and to guide them. That was what was important to Mary Ann. So I thank you very much for this award. My family thanks you. My one daughter just gave birth on Monday, so she's not here. But we really do thank you. And we thank all the people that have been so kind to me, Mary Ann, and to my entire family. And I thank you again this evening for this opportunity. Thank you.
So one last piece of business. It's not an Alex video. I wouldn't dare challenge him that way. Couldn't possibly. I want to see if we have it here. Yes. So I'd like the following people to stand up at their seat. Alex DePalma, Jim Doyle, I know Pete Rothman is not here, and Maureen Thompson-Siegel. Please stand. These folks were honored this past week by USA Hockey for their 10 years of service to USA Hockey, either to a section, council, committee, and I want to give everybody, please give them a round of applause. Also not here today, Dave Baughan, who is our in-house counsel for the affiliate, and here tonight, so honored that she attends these events every year, USA Hockey treasurer and one of our own, Donna Gariglia. Please stand. 15 years of service. Thank you, Donna. And last but not least, an incredible 30 years of service. I think I refereed with this guy. Ken Haas, where are you? Ken Haas. Please stand, Kenny. 30 years of service as our risk manager. Imagine doing 30 years of volunteer work in risk management. I want to thank Bobby for skewering a couple of sacred cows, my hockey rankings, alphabet soup, all good stuff. And I'm going to turn it back to Adam. Thank you.
Please welcome back Jim Doyle to present our Official of the Year award.
Thank you, Adam. I'd like to invite up to the stage Mark Visco. Mark, would you make your way up? Mark will be the recipient of the 2003 Official of the Year award. Mark's first year with USA Hockey was in 1981. He quickly became a great addition to the officiating community in South Jersey and the Philadelphia area. Mark initially joined the AAHA seminar staff back in 1990 and has been an integral part of providing and contributing to the seminar process for over 30 years. In 1994, Mark was appointed the supervisor of officials in the South Jersey area. He continued to provide coaching and guidance to new and veteran officials and was then appointed as assistant referee-in-chief for the New Jersey Youth Hockey League. In 2018, Mark was appointed to the position of regional coordinator for South Jersey. He oversees the officiating programs in Pennsauken, Voorhees, Mount Laurel, Hollydale, and Atlantic City. Mark's accomplishments on the ice included working multiple South Jersey high school playoff games, midget, junior, and college club games, along with working Flyers rookie camp games. They were an experience for Mark, I'll tell you that. Off the ice, Mike has been invaluable with volunteering his time to work in the evaluation program for over 20 years. Mark is always ready to step up and support the development of new and existing officials at different events each year. In fact, this year he participated in the U15 national tournament that was held at the Ice Vault in Wayne. He has for years supported the Liberty Bell games and previously the Keystone games as an instructor and observer. When there is a situation where the district needs an impartial set of eyes to observe a team, player, coaches, or parents, Mark has been asked numerous times to attend a game and provide a presence and feedback to the AAHA. Mark has also been a member of the off-ice crew for the National Hockey League in Philadelphia for over 15 years. Currently, he is the commercial coordinator, and this coming season will take on the additional role of concussion spotter as well. In closing, Mark has volunteered his time and energy to improve in the USA Hockey officiating program for well over 30 years. Tonight is my pleasure to congratulate Mark Visco on all his years of dedication service to the AAHA. Let's congratulate Mark for all his contributions.
I'd like to thank the district for this award. This was a shock when I got the phone call from Glenn. For me, this started back in the late or early 80s, I should say. I was actually coaching and had problems with the officiating in the Cherry Hill area. And every game that I had, they kept giving me the same guys, the same guys, the same guys. So finally, I said to them, like, what's up? You guys can't take this, can't do this level anymore. So just like Glenn showed the video in the beginning of the dinner here, the award ceremony, we had a little meeting afterwards, and I became part of the solution. A couple weeks after that, they had a clinic, and I manned up, and I went to the clinic, and it was on the bleachers in the rink, and did my clinic, and ever since then, I think I only coached a couple years after that, and then devoted the rest of my time to officiating, which I love. I met a great number of people that have been part of my life for a long time now, and thanks again for this.
Thank you, Mark. Please join me in welcoming USA Hockey Director Gene Palecco.
Thanks, Jimmy. Good evening, everybody. Tough act tonight to follow. There's been a lot of great people that are coming up here and receiving these awards. And I look out into the audience, and this next award, there's a lot of great stock in this room. If you asked me 25 years ago when I started, If I would see a USA Hockey treasurer or the commissioner of the USHL, I wouldn't even know what that was. So hats off to everybody that has helped me get to where I am and to help support our next recipient of this award. The Atlantic Affiliates New Leader Award is presented to an individual who steps up to help out the hockey community. Many of us started that way initially. Brian Pecca is the general manager of the Hatfield Ice in his professional role. He's helped youth, girls, and adult programs grow with tri-hockey events and much, much more. Earlier this year, many of you know there was a vacancy in the affiliate secretary position for the Atlantic Affiliate. Brian stepped up for that position, and when it occurred, he volunteered. He's done a great job. He's filled the role. It's my pleasure to present tonight's New Leader Award for the Atlantic Affiliate, Brian Pecca. Brian, come on up.
Yeah, right. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody in the Atlantic District for this award. When Glenn called me back in January, I was extremely honored and definitely willing to volunteer. So I appreciate the phone call, Glenn, and definitely looking to work with everybody here. I'd like to, and I think Maureen and Glenn know this, I'd like to be prepared, but unfortunately I did not prepare a speech for tonight. But just a couple of people I want to recognize. First, I want to congratulate all the award winners tonight, and especially the scholarship winners tonight, so congratulations again. Next person I want to recognize is my wife, Colleen. Colleen, if you could stand up real quickly. Please. Being in this role as a rink manager and now working with the affiliate, there's a lot of things I have to tend to, whether it's working late at the rink, or doing Zoom calls with the district, or doing league meetings and phone calls with the DVHL or any other venue. Colleen's always stepped up and helped. In the role of being a parent, we have 3 daughters, ages 5, 3, and now 8 months. So when I'm doing these things, it's 3-on-1. So without her, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. So again, Colleen, thank you for doing what you do. Sorry, not that tall either. Lastly, I want to recognize all the leaders in this room, whether, again, affiliate officers, rink managers, rink owners, club administrators, referee assigners. Without you guys, I mean, and I appreciate the New Leader Award. Without you guys and without everybody in this room, youth hockey in this area wouldn't be what it is today, and it won't grow like the way it is right now. So thank you very much for what you do, and again, without you guys, none of this would be possible. So thank you.
Our next presenter needs no presentation or introduction whatsoever. She is the one, the only, our Maureen Thompson-Siegel, one of the best in the business. Maureen, come on up.
I promise I'll be quick. I'm here to present the Volunteer of the Year Award. It's going to Jeff Brody. Jeff grew up playing ice hockey for Wissahickon Warriors and the Quakers, where he was a member of the district winning team in 1997?
No, 97. Yeah.
97, see, I know. He's been a member of our officiating program for 25 years. Don't let his age scare you. He's also an association administrator, which is really why he's up here today. He works as a vice president and a registrar with the Lower Merion Ice Hockey Club, and as a board member and fundraising chair and the Finland USA Exchange chair for the Haverford Hawks. He came to me at a district event 2 years ago and said to me, "I'm now this fundraising chair. Got any ideas what we can raise some money for?" And I said, "How about for some disabled sports?" And he said, "All right, it's a good idea." And he took it back to his club. and they raised $5,000 thereabouts. Our treasurer gave me the little piece of paper here with the amount on it. $4,109.50 to be exact, that we're going to use to purchase sleds and whatnot to grow our disabled sports in our affiliate. We are very, very thankful for what Jeff's done, and we look to encourage all of you to support disabled sports like that in the future. It's my pleasure to congratulate Jeff.
Picture first. Maureen's gone. She wants me to talk.
You
All
have
right.
to talk now.
Well, first of all, thank you. I want to thank the affiliate, obviously, but you know, that story is true. But it really started with Matt Crane, who's our current president of our Haverford Hawks Club, and he said, as fundraising chair, you've got to do something. I was like, okay, I'll do something. And the reason why I went to Maureen is because what it comes down to, and I think what everyone has spoken about tonight, is really why I wanted to sell the board and therefore the club to spend 1 month in raising over $4,000 this past fall. And that is because, you know, we wanted our kids, right, to do something for the love of hockey, but we've all been through Learn to Play. We've all taken our first stride, which is pretty cool, by the way, because that's really what it was about. And sled hockey just became that, because what Maureen said was, cost of a hockey sled's expensive. And kind of in my mind, unlike Learn to Play, which is a really low entry level, to start playing sled hockey is not so low. So anything we could do as a club to help lower that cost, that burden, that barrier to start is really why we got involved. So it was a distinct pleasure to do that. And hopefully, this next fall we can do the same and raise money again, because that definitely is the challenge. So just want to thank you, and you know, thank everyone here, because I think we all do it for the love of hockey, and that's really what it came down to. So thanks. Oh, now you want the picture.
Now the picture. Thank you. It is my pleasure to welcome my friend Ryan Carter, who's going to do the next 3 awards, hopefully as quickly as I just did.
Good evening. Glenn actually told me each award was supposed to be for 1 hour, so settle in, folks. All right, so my name is Ryan Carter. I'm the Atlantic District Coach-in-Chief, and I'm proud to be up here with the next 3 awards. Joining me on stage tonight is Kate Annis. She is the Atlantic District's first Associate Coach-in-Chief for Female Development. All right, so our first award is for the Bob O'Connor Award. This year's recipient, unfortunately, is not here tonight, Jenny Hyro. Jenny joined the coaching education staff 3 years ago in the midst of the pandemic, where everything was kind of upside down, where we transitioned to virtual. And Jenny, in so many, what everybody says is Jenny's a rock star. She was fantastic. She became the person behind the computer screen. She managed the day-to-day operation of every clinic. That was a seamless flow of transition from presentation to presentation. She was dealing with all of the coaches that came in there, and she did a fantastic job, and that's why she's receiving this award tonight. Unfortunately, like I said, she cannot be here tonight. She is at a wedding, but she did want me to relay her thanks to the Atlantic District and USA Hockey for this prestigious award. All right, our next award is for the Youth Hockey Coach of the Year for the Atlantic District. John Barger, can you make your way to the stage, please? All right, John Barger is from Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. He played his youth hockey at Rizzo Rink, Tarkin Rink, the Ice Palace, and played high school hockey for Father Judge. Throughout college, he was thinking as to what was he going to do once his playing days were over, and right from college, he went right into coaching nearly 30 years ago. I know he's here, so, okay. You're getting me nervous when you stand behind me like that. Get over here. Nervous. Once a cop, always a cop, right? Yeah. So John realized that he wanted to get into coaching. That was the next step, next progression of what his hockey life would become. For the next 30 years, he's coached, and for the last 15 with the Philadelphia Blazers. John has answered the call year after year. His teams have been tremendously successful, but where he has been most successful is in his development of the humans that he works with. It's not about the hockey players that they are, it's about the people that they become, which goes to what, Bobby, what you spoke about. That's what's most important. That's what makes you a great coach. Congratulations.
Like Spike, I didn't prepare anything either, so I'm sweating bullets up here. But first off, let me thank the Atlantic District. Great honor. I want to thank my family, my wife, Mary Jo, my son, Brandon, and my daughter, Brooke. They've sacrificed a lot so that I can put the time in that it takes to coach a team. I also want to thank Zach Bennett, who's here tonight, and Chip Perkins, two of my assistant coaches, two great guys, great assistant coaches, and they make my job very easy. I just show up at the rink and just coach. I want to thank my players. I've been blessed with some really great players through the years, and I wouldn't be standing here without them. I also want to thank Mike DeRose, Mike Holt, and Chip Perkins again. The Blazers organization was really down and out 10, 15 years ago when I started there. And without them building the club back up, I probably wouldn't be standing here either. So thank them guys for all the hard work they do that built that club back up. And again, I want to thank the Atlantic District and all the coaches and everybody here tonight. It's truly an honor. Thank you.
All right, will Mary Gibson Morenich please make your way to the stage? Mary began her coaching career in 2010 with the Hatboro Horsham Hatters Ice Hockey Club. For the past 9 years, Mary has worked with the Lady Patriots Hockey Club at various roles, with most notably being the head coach and director of player development for the UCAN program. Mary is a teacher who continues to be a positive motivator for young female hockey players. Mary has been described as a symbol of what a dedicated volunteer is to promote girls hockey in the United States. It's my honor to recognize Mary as the Women's Coach of the Year for the Atlantic District.
Thank you to the Atlantic District for this award. More importantly, thank you to my family. Deep, heartfelt thank you for the love and support that you guys have given me through this journey for myself. What started as a passing thought on the bench with Paul Bardell has blossomed into an essential component of the Lady Patriots program. This interactive developmental team has its own logo, which is UCAN, and is for girls ages 4 to 18 who want to learn to play hockey. I am honored and can't believe that I get this award for a job that I absolutely love. Our program adapts every playground game to the ice and mixes in the ADM model stations, all culminating with jamborees so the girls get to play hockey with their new skills in real games. Throw in pizza and a commemorative patch, and we have a winning formula. In addition, I'm especially proud of the subsequent development of the Student Coach Program, which is a way for the older girls to give back to their community and lead the next generation. The global girls and women's hockey movement is now in the ride the wave phase. This recognition and continued support is essential to normalize, foster, and maintain the mantra, hockey is for everyone. A big shout out to all the coaches out there who are doing just that. We make an enormous difference both on and off the ice, so have a great summer, everybody. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our coaches. We wouldn't be able to play the game that we love without you. These teams would probably look like the Mighty Ducks pre-Bombay. That's what they probably would look like. Before we get to our next awards, we have a special message from members of our hockey community who have worked closely with our honorees. Let's take a look.
Hello, everybody. This is Pete DeBoer, head coach of the Dallas Stars. I'm here to congratulate John and Kelly DeNorcia on their entrance into the Atlantic Amateur Hockey Association Hall of Fame. Two special people. I'm going to start with the better half. You could never walk into the New Jersey Devils Youth Arena without seeing Kelly and her influence on everybody around. She kept everything together. She was the brains behind the operation, as we all know, and everybody in the New Jersey Devils youth family loved her for the effort and work she put in. On behalf of John, had two sons play for John. Fabulous person. When I think of John DeNorcia, I think of integrity, I think of composure, I think of all the things youth sports are supposed to be about. He's provided local New Jersey kids with opportunities to go to the Quebec and play in the Pee Wee tournament, to go to Europe. But more importantly, when they walked into a rink run by John DeNorcia and the New Jersey Devils youth, you felt like family, you felt safe, and you felt excited to be there. So congratulations to two special people. We love you guys. Enjoy the night.
Hey, John and Kelly, it's Shaddy. Just wanted to congratulate you on making the AAHA Hall of Fame. Definitely well-deserved. You guys had such a tremendous impact on me as a young player and as a young boy becoming a man, and I can attest to that across the board for all the players that you've had. You've had a tremendous amount of care for your players, but also did a great job at inspiring us and making sure that we became great people. So again, very well deserved. Sorry I couldn't make it, but I wish you guys all the best. And yeah, have a great night. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I could not be there this evening, but I wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate my good friend, John DeNorcia, on his induction to the Atlantic Affiliate Hall of Fame. John is a fiercely loyal and trusted friend. He is a highly intelligent and compassionate person who excels as a hockey coach. While certainly competitive, John is a player-centric coach who has spent virtually his entire professional life working tirelessly for the betterment of hockey and hockey players within the district. While there are obviously a plethora of quality candidates, I can think of no one more deserving of this honor than John DeNorcia. While most of you know and probably associate John with the New Jersey Devils Youth or as the Director of Player Development for the district, you may not know that he was quite an accomplished player as well. He was a top player in his birth year, and he was virtually always selected as captain on each team that he played. John has always been a leader. His circle of extremely close, lifelong friends, most of whom played youth hockey with him, will attest to that. And you can ask them on any given Derby day as they are all assembled at his home. I first met John in 1998, and since then we have shared uncountable hours and built lifelong memories in cold rinks, hot, non-air-conditioned dormitories, and a variety of high-end restaurants such as Ott's, Perkins, and Buffalo Wild Wings, in lavish locations such as Kent, Ohio, Lawrenceville, New Jersey, St. Cloud, Minnesota, and Rochester, New York. These days spent with John doing what we love are some of the best days of my life. While we are very different people and often see the world through a different lens, our professional relationship and our friendship have made me a better coach and person. I'm grateful to call John my friend, and I'm incredibly happy for his induction. I would be remiss if I did not mention and also congratulate the most important person in John's life and fellow inductee, Kelly DeNorcia. I could go on and on, but in short, Kelly is a remarkable woman who does more for the Atlantic District and the New Jersey Devils youth than anyone will ever know. She is a kind and compassionate person who positively influences everyone she comes in contact with. I'm so happy that she is able to share this induction day with John. Congratulations, John and Kelly. Well deserved.
Now, please welcome back Glenn Heffernan to the stage for our 2023 Hall of Fame induction.
Thank you. I wasn't aware of all of those videos and what they were going to contain, and encapsulated so much. There's not much to amplify, but I deal with John and Kelly quite often. They manage the player development program for the affiliate, and it is challenging. There's a lot of personalities to manage. All of the staff that they collect to work on these camps and programs and selection process to just create an environment that is abundantly fair, impartial, and that's not always easy when you also wear a hat of running a club. And John goes above and beyond, and I've observed it. I go to what they call the war room, and I watch what goes on. We've actually filmed some of it, and it is actually an amazing process that they put together. Kelly, from a financial standpoint, and Donna, as our treasurer, knows these are important issues. It's half of the P&L for the affiliate. It's about a $1.5 million budget, and half of that is our player development. And when I first came in, it was costing a lot of money. We were losing quite a bit, and John and Kelly have very gradually managed to contain costs and be thoughtful in how the fees are assessed, and they've done a magnificent job in tightening up the budget and making it work financially. And they've been brilliant about it all. Very quietly gone about those things. My two kids started at the Devils Youth before they were recruited. Moved to another program. I had to do it. Well, it's the truth. So, and they adored, John and Kelly, Big Ed, of course. Adam, my daughter, loved you for sure. I don't know why, but she loved you, Adam. And so they had such a great experience there. And it's funny to me, my son is 29, my daughter is 32. So guess what my 3-year-old son was doing there and my 7-year-old daughter? They were doing cross ice. How many years ago? Was it 25 years ago? Cross ice. It's not a new invention. They were doing it long ago. And they just reinvigorated their Devils Youth Girls program, wanted to give girls an opportunity, and they've been in and out of that and really stayed with it. It would be easy to just walk away and say, we're not going to do it. So I don't want to take up any more. A lot's been said, and I'm just so honored to see both of you inducted. Please welcome John and Kelly DeNorcia, our Hall of Fame inductees.
I'd like to thank Glenn and everybody in the Atlantic District for this huge, huge honor. Certainly was knocked back a little bit when I got the phone call from Glenn. Couldn't be happier sharing this with the love of my life, Kelly, coming in, who a couple of people have said before is the brains and the driving force. And like to say she's her spirit animal is Jiminy Cricket. So kind of keeps everybody in line, both in the Devils Youth and the player development program. I started out playing hockey at Essex County in a rink that's not there anymore in Newark. I then matriculated into Ice World in Totowa, New Jersey, another rink that's no longer there. Came from a bit of a broken home, and hockey really became my driving force. I met a kind of tribe of friends that I stay friendly with now to this day, one of which is here, Adam Diglio, who's been a lifelong friend of mine. I've been in both, both in wedding parties of each other. Same for Jimmy Aaliyah and Tommy Wisloff, who's now recovering from brain surgery. But those friends have stayed with me, and hockey provided lifelong friendships that have really kind of, been there for my entire life. I was blessed to have coaches like Dan May and Tommy Breville and Ken Horner as I was coming through and helping. I took a lot of that with me. I came back and started coaching with Devils Youth, and started at the mite level. And even though I love, why would I want to coach younger kids? And it was the best thing that ever happened to me is coaching young kids and trying to find ways to incorporate joy in the game as we're going through. It was right around that time where I met Kelly, and she had never seen a hockey game, but I had never had a pet before. So it's a pretty good balance that we have right now. By the way, if anybody is looking for a foster puppy, we still have one available in our house right now. Was blessed to coach so many fantastic young men who I mentored coming into the Devils Youth. Glenn mentioned before, Ed Lynch gave me my first opportunity. Jim Flaherty, who I'm so happy is here to share the night with us, has been a mentor, has been a guide for me, and has coached and been there for us for our entire journey. So I want to thank Jim. There are players that I coached that have come back and are coaching now. There are players that I stay in touch with. There are players that I've been in their wedding parties, and Chris being one of them. Pat Yanata's here. Coached both of them. Dale Reinhardt, who I coached, who's now the head coach at the Kent School. Again, those relationships mean the world to me. And I always say hockey's the easy part, and that was kind of talked about a little bit or talked around, but it's really the relationship and the joy and the passion, and kind of how you can do it without allowing people to grow, allowing people to explore their skill sets, but do it in an environment in which there's growth. I got asked to do the player development program, and I pushed pucks for Jimmy Hunt for a couple of years, and he had the confidence in me to kind of start moving me through the program, and coached a couple of festivals and started coaching the Quebec team through that. And Jimmy was a big influence in myself and in the growth, and I got to meet John Riley through that. I got to meet Rich Eby, who's a dear friend of mine and is now the associate director of the program. So hockey has provided me so many great experiences and so many joys that I feel truly blessed. Again, working with the coaching education program, I got to see another side of the hockey, and that's really where I kind of came up with the hockey's easy. It's really kind of, as a coach, wanting to be the reason why the players come to the rink, and want to be hockey players and kind of enjoy the game. And it fills my heart, when I get the opportunity to go to the ice vault and see the Mite Jamboree and the great presentation that they put on, because again, that's really what it's all about. So, again, I want to thank everybody, most notably my wife Kelly and my two, my daughter and my son are here. So if you'd like to stand up, please. Two things, last but not least. Anybody who's been involved in the Devils Youth Club knows Big D. He's been with the club for years and years, and does an unbelievable job. And just like most volunteers in this game, he's one of the things that one of the reasons why everything runs well and is always a pleasant face. And again, I would be remiss if I didn't say that, and thank Big D for all his time. I came into the player development program right around the same time as Chris Barkless. We've developed a friendship and had a lot of laughs, and he's been a true friend to not only me but Kelly, and so again, I just want to point out Chris and all his contributions to everything in the sport. So, thank you.
So thanks to the affiliate for this honor. It was a huge surprise when we got the call from Glenn. For me, I like to be in the background. I don't want to be the center of attention. I think, my job is to be invisible and to make everybody else's job around me easier, and that's really what I try to do. So this is, a huge honor, and I appreciate it. John kind of said it all. I do also want to kind of recognize our kids because they've made a lot of sacrifices. Everybody in this room knows that hockey's a lifestyle. It's not for everybody, and they've really kind of, they've made a lot of sacrifices to allow us to do what it is that we do. And I'm really blessed to work with some really amazing, wonderful people who keep their eyes on the prize and make sure that they keep the kids at the center of everything they do. That's what we try to do, and I'm grateful to have colleagues who do that alongside us. So that's it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one big round of applause for all the recipients. On behalf of the entire Atlantic affiliate, thank you again for your service to amateur hockey. We hope you enjoyed this evening, and congratulations to all the award recipients. I do want to ask that all recipients please stick around for a group photo and to receive your scholarship checks. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Celebrating the first stride. For members of our organization, it starts there. Hockey is a sport for life. Players turn into coaches, team managers into officials, Zamboni drivers into players. As we prepare for the 2023-2024 season, we encourage you to think about how you can bring new players to our game. Try hockey events, cross-sport partnerships, encouraging former players to join an adult league. There are endless opportunities because hockey is for everyone.